Someone says recruiting makes you a pyramid. Is that true? That's what I'm going to talk about here. So Kylie, she has a YouTube channel, and mostly her followers were people in the fashion industry, makeup industry. And so she decided to open up and talk about network marketing. And so she made this statement: recruiting makes you a pyramid. All right, so I'm going to roll this clip so that you can hear it.
Business hierarchy. That has nothing to do with why we're calling you a pyramid scheme. It's because you're recruiting people over and over and over until you can't recruit no more. So next there's...
Okay, so it's this phrase, until you can't recruit no more. All right, I'm going to dive into this one because what it is that theory, that idea is theoretical outcome. And that's one of those where you recruit and then you recruit and you recruit and you keep on recruiting until you can't recruit no more. And then the thing collapses. Okay, so it unravels, and everybody and whoever was the last person that you recruited, well, he's not going to get anything. He's going to get left holding the bag. It's kind of that musical chairs game where, you know, there's one less chair, then there are people, and the music plays, and then it stops, and then you're the one that doesn't have a chair, and you're like, oh. So that's the theory that she's talking on. So it's also, you got to get in at the beginning. It's also only the people at the top or that got in early. And then when you run out of new people, it will collapse. Okay? So this is from an outside observer or a spectator's viewpoint. All right? And the reason I say that is because anytime I read articles on network marketing, sometimes I'm even confused by the way they describe and explain network marketing. It's kind of crazy. It's this big, huge view of this entire structure, and they're trying to tell you how it works, and they really don't know, okay? And even a lot of people who are in network marketing do not know how it works because they're not looking, they haven't seen all facets of it. And especially people who get in and then they, quote, fail, and then they're kind of mad at the thing, and then they start, you know, like talking about how horrible it is, and they're talking about the people at the top, and as one of the other videos that I just did, at what level is the top? You could have a top earner in the whole company be 1,000 levels deep or 100 levels deep. And so they never... Whenever I say that to them, they kind of get that glare where they're like, what? Yeah, the top can be way down there. Okay, so the observer, the spectator's view is never going to be exact. It's going to be off, even if the person spends quite a bit of time looking at it. The reason I say that is because there was a time when I was in Hawaii. I was stationed. I was in a bomb squad. I defused bombs underwater, and they wanted to come out and do this interview. And so whoever kind of ran our unit got the call, and they chose me for whatever reason. I wish they didn't. So they came out to try to, like, you know, take pictures and things like that. And they said, okay, so I want you to just act natural. This is a day in the life of an EOD bomb guy, you know, and I said, okay, I don't know what else to do but act normal. And they go, okay, so what's the first thing you do? And I'm like, I'm going to go run. See you later. And so I go out and I do a run. All right. So I come back in 30 minutes or so, and they're like, okay, so now what? I'm going to take a shower. So I go take a shower and I eat breakfast, and they're like watching me and they're filming, and I'm like, what in the world? And so, long story short, they're saying, so when do you defuse a bomb? I'm like, when somebody calls. And they go, who calls? And I go, well, somebody, normally they're digging in their backyard. Remember, this is Hawaii. They're digging in their backyard, and they pull up a big bullet. And that's what they call it when they call in and they say, hey, I found a big bullet in my backyard. What do I do with it? I typically say, stay away from it. I'll be right out. And so then I defuse a bomb. Or if it's something in the ocean, a diver will find something or something, you know, or all of a sudden there's a detonation in the middle of the water or something. You know, there's just different things. And so And so she said, well, what do you do in the meantime? And I said, I just drill gear. In other words, I drill my tools so that I'm sharp on my game, so that when I go into an emergency situation, I'm not fumbling on my gear. All right. And so in the article that came out, it had some comment in there about how it's a lazy man's job or something like that. And I was like, okay, all right, that's how you interpreted my job. That person has never wrapped their knuckles around a bomb. They'll never know what it feels like. They will never know what a person is thinking in their mind when they're searching the bottom of the ocean floor looking for a bomb. They'll never know that unless they do it. And that is a lot of the case where you have spectators spectating on and talking about something that they don't really know. And even people in network marketing, it's difficult for you to get the same picture as somebody who really, like I've been behind 200 network marketing companies as a consultant. I got in on that side. I'm able to look at a lot of things. All right. So let me tell you what does collapse. This. Okay. It's an example of something that collapsed when let me see, get her phrase exactly here. Okay. So recruiting people over and over until you can't recruit no more. All right? Now let me show you. Okay. So let's just say a person buys a stock. Let's say they buy it there. And so who do they buy it from? An idiot. To them. They think it's an idiot. Why do they think they're an idiot? Well, because he wouldn't have sold it. It's right there on that line. You should know that, right? And so he buys it, and then he rides it up, okay? And let's just say that he rides it all the way up to here. And then he's like, he puts a bid out for somebody to buy it, and nobody will buy it. And so he's like, uh-oh. And so he has to dump it right there, okay, at whatever somebody will do, okay? Because there's no more dumb buyers. Nobody else willing to buy it up. People say, oh, well, the stock market is based upon a company and their earnings and their blah, blah, blah. And that's not in reality the way it works when you're actually in there trading stocks. Because the company can announce nothing, but it trades 70 million shares. What are they doing? What are they trading? Why are they trading? Okay? In other words, they didn't announce any new widgets. They didn't announce any new countries. They didn't announce any extra deals, right? So that's the scene. So there's no more new buyers dumb enough to buy it at that price. And so it then begins to trickle down. And the guy goes, I got to get out of that stock. Okay? So he dumps it off. To who? Somebody he thinks is dumb because nobody's buying it above this. And so he dumps it off. And enough people dump it off, and you get this. All right? This takes us back to like September of, I think it's 17, and or something like that. It's a long time to take back the stock market. Okay, so this is the S&P 500 for those of you who know what you're looking at. All right, and so this is what happens when somebody starts taking money out of something. All right, I want you to remember that picture when you start taking it out. Like the Great Depression happened. Why? Because people went to the bank and started pulling their money out. It was the end of the music. It was the end of the game, right? It's like, whoop. And so that's what causes something to collapse. When your neighbor puts their house up for sale and sells it for less than what you think your house is worth, you go, uh-oh. And so what do? I want to get out of here. Honey, let's sell the house. But why? The kids are in school. But we got to get out of here now because the prices are starting to come down. We got to profit right now. And so that mentality of selling it real quick, that idea, that's not what network marketing is. All right? Not at all. What I want to do is I want to serve my customers. I want to train my reps to serve their customers. That's what creates long-term residual income. If somebody stops buying the product, okay, get another customer. But every business does that. That's not what she's talking about, which is recruiting. Now, that would be an illegal pyramid scheme, but she can't say that that's network marketing. Right? And that's the truth of it. So now, just in talking about this just happened like in the last week and a half, 2 weeks. And this is $4.6 trillion evaporated. If she's really worried about people, she'd be talking about this too. You see what I'm saying? Why don't you choose network marketing? Because there was a lot of retirement accounts of older people, maybe her grandparents, right? They just lost some 35% or so of their entire account. Okay? Because if it was in the S&P 500. So that's a big haircut, and we're not even sure it's done falling. Okay? So that's what happens when there's no more new buyers for the houses. When the condos start getting, like sold real quick, you're going to see a collapse in the price. And that's not the way network marketing works at all. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up, and you might consider subscribing if you haven't. Also, share the video if you like it. Okay, so I'll see you in the next video.